Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress. It is high time that I talk to you about the Champions Showdown, which was held in St. Louis in the USA, which we can now safely say is the chess capital of the world. So many great events are held there. This was an unusual event. I've never seen an event like this. We had 4 matches. You can see the faces of the players there. The top 3 US players. On the left there we see Caruana. He played against Grishuk. Nakamura played against Topalov. And So played against Dominguez from Cuba. And we had the world champion Magnus Carlsen, who played against Ding Liren, the #1 Chinese player. They played a total of 30 games against each other with different time controls. First 4 games with 30 minutes per player, then 6 games with 20 minutes per player, 8 games of 10 minutes per player, and 12 games of 5 minutes per player, all divided over 4 days of play. One important and surprising rule was that there was no increment and no delay, so if a player ran out of time, they lost the game. Nowadays with those digital clocks, we always see increments, sometimes increments after move 60, but there will be some sort of an increment, not in this tournament. Let me show you the results of the matches. Alexander Grishuk lost against Fabiano Caruana. Hikaru Nakamura completely destroyed Topalov. You can see 61.5 versus 30.5. And Lenier Dominguez lost against Wesley So. So a victory for the 3 top American players. And what about the world champion? Well, as you can see here, he also destroyed his opponent 67 points to 25. And you can see there the 12 blitz games, the 5-minute games. Carlsen won 6 of them, Ding only 1. The scores of course look a bit strange. There was 5 points for the winner of a 30-minute game, 4 points for the winner of a 20-minute game, 3 points for the winner of a 10-minute game, and 2 points for a winner of a blitz 5-minute game. That's why the scores add up to 92 points and Carlsen won 67-25. I picked a game from the game 20 as it's called, so 20 minutes per player for the whole game. It was the 8th game in total, so the 4th game of game 20, and Ding Liren was white, Magnus Carlsen was black. Let's have a look. c4 from Ding, knight f6. The 2 games had been decided so far. Carlsen had won twice with black, once in the 30-minute game and once his first black game in the 20-minute game. Knight c3 here from Ding, e5, knight f3, knight c6. We have an English opening, e3, bishop e4, and queen c2. For this analysis I make use of the live commentary from Grandmaster Yasser Saraban in the live broadcast. And he called this queen c2 an old favorite of his, and explained that in the old days black voluntarily took here on c3, and after queen takes c3, queen e7, he would play for a quick d7, d5 push in the center. But Carlsen played it differently. He played d6. Knight d5 from Ding, with a tactical idea that the world champion does not fall for, because you cannot take that knight, because if you do, you lose. Because white takes back, the knight is hanging, and if you play the knight away, there is queen a4 check, check, and the bishop will get lost. Of course Carlsen didn't fall for that one. So after knight d5, which is attacking the bishop, Carlsen played bishop a5, a3, knight takes d5, c takes d5, and knight e7. And now queen a4 check does not win the bishop, because black has c6 covering the check and protecting the bishop. After knight e7, Ding did not play queen a4, he played b4, kicking the bishop back to b6, bishop c4, Carlsen castled, bishop b2, and here Saraban expected the push c6, which is the thematic move in this position, and after d takes c6, b takes c6, followed by d6, d5. This is a typical way of playing, which was pointed out by Yasser Saraban. But Carlsen did not play c6, not yet. He played bishop f5. d3 from Ding. His queen was attacked. And now knight g6, and that is a new move. It hadn't been played before. In another Grandmaster game, black played bishop g4, and then h3, and Grandmaster Kuzubov took on f3. But Carlsen played knight g6. Ding is going to harass that knight with h4, h6, and h5. And back went the knight to e7. Knight d2 from Ding. Rook c8 from Carlsen, and e4. Bishop went to g4, and now d4. Carlsen took that pawn. Ding decided to kick the bishop back with f3. Bishop went back to d7, and then queen d3. And Ding must have thought that he would regain the pawn this way. He's attacking it twice now. But he had underestimated the dynamic nature of the position, because here comes this standard move, c7 to c6 from Carlsen, and it's very strong here, especially because White's king is still in the middle, and White has made so many pawn moves that castling either side does not look very attractive for White. Carlsen is trying to open the position to make use of that vulnerable king. Ding took on c6, and here Sarawan expected that Carlsen would take with the knight. I'll show you one variation they looked at in the live broadcast. They looked at f4 here, and then queen f6, attacking the f4 pawn. Then they looked at castling and bishop g4, and there's a threat of bishop e2. And you cannot take that bishop then with the queen, because there would be e3 check. The bishop would give check to the king, and you would be attacking White's queen with your pawn. But at the same time, Black's queen is also hanging in that variation. Very complicated, but it's good for Black. You have to believe me, I checked it with the engine. So that's after knight takes c6, but after some thought, Magnus Carlsen took with the bishop on c6, and it is stronger. b5, kicking the bishop back, bishop d7, and here Ding castled kingside, trying to find shelter for his king. And now d6, d5, beautiful move. As they said in the broadcast, giving back a pawn is of little importance in this position. It's about blasting open the position for Black's pieces. And the term that was used is dynamic piece play, and that's a Grandmaster term. Ding took on d5, and Carlsen played bishop f5, attacking the queen. And it was Grandmaster Maurice Ashley who commented that that h5 pawn really would like to be back on h2 to give the king more protection. Ding played knight e4, and Carlsen took on d5 with his knight, threatening knight f4, and especially knight e3 looks very strong. At this moment, Ding only had 7 minutes left on his clock. Carlsen still had 12 minutes, and as I said, there were no increments. Bishop takes d5, that knight has to be taken. Queen takes, rook ad1, rook fd8, and as the Grandmaster said in the studio, Black has 2 bishops and an extra pawn. White has a weak king and a weak pawn on h5. Black is winning here. Rook fe1 from Ding, and that cut the game short because rook c3 was a great shot from the world champion, and it caused Ding to resign after some thought. Great shot, rook c3. Why is it so strong? Well, let's first look at if you just take that rook, then there is d takes c3 check. The bishop is giving check to the king. King f1, and then you can just take on d3, rook takes, and if you count the pieces, Black is a piece up. So after rook c3 you cannot take with the bishop. Your queen is attacked, so you can try queen d2. That doesn't work either. There's many ways to win this for Black. One way is bishop takes e4, and if you take back, there is again d3 check. King f1, and queen takes h5. There's a mate threat on h1. The king does not have these squares, and black wins in all variations. A crushing win with black from Magnus Carlsen against Ding Liren. It was his third win in the event. This win gave him 4 points, and as I said, he beat Ding Liren 67-25. Ding kept fighting very bravely, but Carlsen was just too strong for him. I hope you enjoyed this video on the Champions Showdown in St. Louis in November 2017. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up, please subscribe to the Chess to Impress channel, please leave a comment, and if you liked the video, it would be great if you could share it on social media. You also may want to check out my Chess to Progress channel. The link is in the description box. This is Rick for Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.